Welcome back, ladies and gentle people. We have got a round of three game coming up. So not round two, we completely skipped that one. This is going to be between Lion and Lokth. And it's going to be a strong one. Both these players have been storming through the bracket so fast. So how well will they fare against each other? So let's jump straight on over and let's get straight into the match. So, as the blue player, Lion will be rocking your... Oh, let's quickly throw up that on the board as we are live. So luckily that wasn't paused, so we are live. So, Lion will be your French player. The opponent... Actually, was it? Where's the opponent? Oh, there we go. The map hadn't loaded. Lokth will be your HRE. We are on the map of Hill and Dale. And this is going to be a very unfortunate spawn for Lokth. If you have a look, you're going to be able to see that that gold vein is outside of his base. He's got a small vein out the back, small vein off to the side, but no gold vein very close by. You can see on Lion though, Lion's got that small gold vein off to the side, a big gold vein up the back, and then a small gold vein again off to the side. So it's a little bit rough in terms of map spawns, because remember, these are random maps. It is Age of Empires 4. They give you a little bit of balance, but a lot of randomization to keep things up and running. And, well, you can see that Lion has already decided he's going straight for the deer hunt, which is quite aggressive little opening, but I love it. It's close enough that it's not a huge walk for your villagers, and it's going to allow your scout more time to explore the map, find the sheep, and give you a lot longer active time of killing and gathering resources from the animals. I was going to get there eventually. Thank you, KVA, for following. Now, Lion is still finding himself around the map. He doesn't really need to come home. It's interesting to see that the opponent of the HRE will not be looking at going for that hunt himself. He's going to get a lot of villagers a lot faster set up on that gold. HRE, generally you see a few extra villagers on food, maybe 8, sometimes 9. One of the large regions is you need to have a lot of food there to help pump out the men-at-arms if you go for the early men-at-arms push on age 2. And the men-at-arms can go toe-to-toe with knights. So HRE is one of those civilizations that a lot of people are talking about at the moment that can stand up to the French's aggression, because those men-at-arms with a huge armor advantage. We got 2 scouts coming out from the French player. Not something you see too much, but he's taking control of so much food. He's got himself, I have to switch players, 8 sheep there. He's got himself another 4 down here. That is 3,000 food that he's casually got walking around on the map. His opponent, Lokth, hasn't really explored much of the map, hasn't been able to secure much food for himself when it comes up to further. So you need to see possibly that hunt being taken a lot earlier, or those berries. And now Lion's starting to rotate in onto his opponent's base, understanding what's going on. He's having a little look at the stone. He sees no one is on the stone, so at least he knows his opponent isn't going for a second TC. But he does see that chapel is coming on down shortly. That chapel allows him to get the larger influence rate for his prelates. That will allow the easier boosting of all his units, so that should get everyone on the wood line. He'll get players, his villagers on the gold vein, and it should increase his income on that. But that School of Cavalry has been started and will complete sooner than his opponent. So be a little bit afraid, because we might be seeing those knights come out and do a lot of damage against his opponents. And now you're going to start seeing he's looking around. He's starting to look at his opponent to find out what is that French player doing. He's going to see that School of Cavalry coming up shortly. And if he sees this, you might see that wood of the current resources go skyrocketing to be able to quickly grab himself a barracks. And he can see that there is only 3 villagers on it, so it's not very fast, but it will be up soon. And Oh, he pulled in all 8 villagers to try and kill that scout, but the scout barely gets away with its life. A little bit interesting there. I'm not sure if the idle eco is worth it. Lokth being able to pay enough attention to his scout to make sure that doesn't go down. If he'd found that scout though, that could have been big. Luckily there's no sheep on it, or there wasn't any sheep on it. And there we go. We are seeing Lokth age up first, so he's going to be able to get those prelates on board with the blessings to his villagers, thanks to that landmark, that large radius. But there is just so much food here from Lion. It is ridiculous. 3,000 food, sheep sitting around the base. The hunt is almost cleaned up. He's got a couple more deer to go with 350 hit points on either of those, or food on either. The scouts are going to run into each other shortly after, and will we see that first knight come straight on out? Does have enough for it. He's queuing up scouts. No, horsemen. No, scouts. Yeah, I was right. Did he misclick this? Surely he's not going for a scout rush as the French. He had enough to get those royal knights. This is a... Or is he looking at stealing his opponent's hunt? Does he have a mill down? He does. Oh, he's getting those professional scouts. He's going to steal his opponent's hunt. This is not something we see too often, but I am absolutely going to love this. If he does he sees his opponent doesn't get it, there's 350 on the table right there. The scouts are coming on out, and he sees that there's 2 scouts sitting in front of his base, which is going to confuse him a little bit. He's getting that outpost set up, so then if the French player does come, he does have a place to find safety and security from those French. But we can see that there is a trail of scouts leading out of that school of cavalry, and going to be seeing that professional scout upgrade very shortly. And here they come. They're coming on in. They're going to start killing some of these deers. The counter scouts are going to come out. So this is going to be one of the slowest and most pathetic fights you've probably ever seen in Age of Empires 4 history, as the scouts are going on out at the tower is almost underway, and this is going to help out a lot. Now the scouts are starting to grab the deers, and they're on the way. They're running from the base, and they're going to be able to retrieve all that food. The last scout coming on in, the counter of professional scouts from his opponent, but it's going to be too late. He's already lost 4 of them. That is 1,400 food from his opponent that has been stolen across the map, and then to rub salt into the wound, here comes a knight. I love it. So Lion manages to continue to secure such a huge food lead. All the sheeps, all the deers, and his opponent is left wondering. And now the knight has found himself another hunt that he might want to get the rest of his scouts in. Paying attention, might not be seeing these deer fall. Oh, he sees it now, and a charge is going to come on in. He's going to start fighting him. He's going to try and chase these scouts off. That last scout's going to say, okay, divert the attention. Those 2 scouts are going to get home. This other scout's going to come back for a deer. This is a battle of the deers here in this Age of Empires 4 match. This is round 3 in the 0 efforts weekly tournament here in the Oceanic League, and the knight's going to do a little bit more damage, pushing that attention onto that scout. Scout's taking so much hits, he's just going to be able to get away. And because of all this aggression, these scouts were a little bit idle back at base, because a little bit of a macro going on from Lion may have been a little bit wanting to prepare the rest of his builds. He's now got a few onto stone, so look to see him start trying to get an early TC up. Ah, he's already beat me to it. He's got himself a TC coming down now. Very close. I personally would have liked this TC maybe to block off one of the side lanes. If he used it over here, he would have got gold and the wood, and also protect the lane from anyone coming up from the side. I don't feel like this TC is really as effective as it could be. Possibly even push this out even further and take a forward position, because you do have the map position. And once again, scout v scout action, and all the food this time is going to Lokth. He's got 4 of those deers, and he's quickly making a hasty retreat. The knight is very low hit points. If the scouts wanted to, I think they could possibly turn around. They do 4 points of damage, 3 armor, never mind. They couldn't kill this knight even if they tried. So we're going to see that knight eventually retreat. He doesn't want to go up that hill, and more food now come to Lokth. So he lost his hunt, but he's working around the map, working overtime to get him some more hunts. And the scouts are making their way to the next hunt that they do know about, and that's this group of deer. Whew, I don't think I've ever spoken so much about deer in my life. So as the action kind of starts to settle a little bit, we're not going to be seeing that Lokth is going for an extra TC. He's put all his funding into that food. But where is he channeling that gold to? He has so much gold. He might be going straight to age 3. And he is. He's going to go straight and throwing out that Regnitz Cathedral. The Regnitz Cathedral allows him to grab those relics and gains more gold. Which means the 3 relics that can sit into your cathedral will grab you 900 gold. The interesting thing is he hasn't been... I can't select the chapel. But he hasn't been building those prelates and getting them across the map and getting prepared for those relics. And there's already Lion prepared, sitting on one of those relics, waiting for a prelate to come towards him. And I love this. Lion is not only stealing food and thinking a couple steps of his opponent, but he's already prepared if anything comes out from those prelates to capture it. And actually, we see one right here. He's prepared for that relic. It's a little bit far away. Not sure if he can... He does see it. There are knights coming on in, and he has to hope that he doesn't get spotted. And up the top, the scouts, they all turn around, they gang up on that one lone scout and they kill it down, while the rest scamper away with their bounties. And the prelate is being forced away. He sees that the knights are around, and the knights now see him. But it looks like this 2 royal cavalries are sitting on the side. I'm not going to clean up that prelate, and there's no defense at this stage to help out get those relics. This one prelate's going to be off to the side, trying to find a sneaky relic off to the side. Because now the knight has rotated from his position, it's going to free up Lokth to be able to grab them. And with this, Lion, understanding that his opponent's gone up, he's going to start saving without sacrificing his economy. He's got the 2 TCs up, so of course you're costing a lot to be able to pump out those villages, but that does give you an eco lead, which if we do have a look is 50 villages to a lonely 32 of Lokth. And now you can see that Lion is getting all the information and he's covering all those relics. He knows that age 3 comes on out. He needs to keep an eye for the rest of the map, and the vision is just unbelievable at the Lion at the moment. The 2 knights are coming on out. It's going to surprise the villager. The villager goes on down. Not too sure what that villager was up to from Lokth. Maybe doing a little bit of scouting purposes. A knight is going to try and chase down this villager. It should be able to chase it down and get on out, as the scouts have to retreat. So this is now in one of those positions where it's very hard for Lokth to try and defend. He's got himself a couple of knights online, so it looks like he wants to go for a few of his own knights in return. Castle Age has now been breached by Lion, so look to see some of these upgrades come out from the School of Cavalry. Look for that upgrade to Veteran. Look for those saddles, because that will boost the effectiveness of the French knights. And one knight's going to get caught out here. He's taking a lot of damage. I don't know if they got chivalry up and running yet, but actually we do. We can see that heal coming on in. The charge is doing a lot of damage. That top knight's going to go down with the help of that one lone archer as the engagement. There are 3 knights still available from Lokth. They're going to force off the final knights to retreat, to start healing up. The prelate trying to sneak in that relic. He's going to go down, so another prelate's going to have to come on out, help that out. This royal knight might go down very shortly too. Once they land, the final blows killing it, and now the army is going the favor of Lokth. Lion is losing a lot of his knights. This is an unfavorable engagement at the moment. However, he is trapped between a rock and a hard place as he's engaging upon the knights of the French player and taking a lot of damage. He's going to turn around. The scouts are trying to help on out, do a little bit of damage there. They might find themselves a sneaky little archer. The archer's not going to get on out of there, and they force away the French knights. There's a few more archers coming on in, but they will not be good against these knights from the HRE. They have the armor. They're prepared to deal with this, and they're chasing him down. And they just might sacrifice the archers. He gives it up. He's looking for that villager. A little bit of a house thrown out into the middle of nowhere. I think because that villager was looking to find maybe an outpost or set up some kind of vision. Not going to be the case. And Lokth He needs to start trying to find some economy damage here against his opponents because he is behind by about 20 villages at the moment. And it's just going to keep going up while that second TC is pumping out from line. The Knights, they've now engaged. It's a very favorable engagement at the moment for Lokth because he does have that advantage. He has more units. The Scouts are even getting involved to try and help this one out. Can these two Knights deal with a singular Knight? I don't think it's going to be the case. They're standing tall, but now the retreat comes in, the chivalry is going to start kicking in. But all these archers should die very shortly, and with the distraction, some crossbows are coming on in to start trying to clean up these Knights, and now it's working. The tides are turning. Lion is taking this fight, and with Lokth losing his entire forward push, and he has to retreat. He has to go back at home. Did this give him time, however, to find any of those relics? He grabbed one relic from the front. Does he have it back though? He does not. Unfortunately, he shift queued it up. And if you don't know, if you shift queue a prelate or any monk to go pick up a relic and then back to your building, it will just walk back. There we go. He's noticed. Ooh, my heart. So with that, that is going to be a pass of 300 gold per minute being pumped out. What that allows him to do is focus his villagers onto other areas of the map. We mentioned this at the start. He had a terrible luck spawn with his main gold vein at the front of the base. This means that Lokth has to put aggression onto his opponent to stop the raids and to protect his economy line. And now he's coming out to the next parts of the map. Lion sees this come on in and he already makes his hasty retreat. The Knight says, okay, we're going to sit here. This is ours. This is going to be our next point of call. And Lion knows this. He needs to make sure to shut down his opponent's passive gold income. Those Knights are healing on up 1 HP per second thanks to that chivalry. And they're going to be looking at coming up the rear of the base. I think that's completely walled out. Yes, it is. There's no sneaky little way around that corner. And the engagement comes. They start landing. There's a lot of crossbowmen here. So this could be more than enough to be able to start dealing with the Knights from his opponent. He turns around. He's trying to deal with this because it's going to be a heavy DPS army with those crossbowmen. And he can see the power of the Third Age French Knights with the crossbowmen in tow. And all the dead bodies from Lokth on the field. He's not going to be able to secure that relic. Additional horses are coming on in, and there's just death and despair for Lokth as he tries to retreat. He doesn't have many units left. The overwhelming pressure from Lion is starting to make its way up into this base. What can Lokth do about this? Lion with a huge economy lead. He's completely voided his opponent of any relics, and he takes the victory as Lokth taps on out of the map. Lion French too strong here in this map. This is round number 3 with Lion moving into round 4 to face his next opponent. And you can just see the passive French research for their villages to continue to go up and up and up. Second TC came online and then it just skyrocketed. There was not much that you could see being done from Lokth. Lokth had the right idea at the start. He had the military, he won the fight, he went to push out, he had an earlier time up, and he wanted to try and capitalize on that advantage before his opponent got the additional upgrades for the Lancers, the Knights. But once those upgrades came online, you can see that even though he had the lower army, he started to win these engagements. And also that tech switch into crossbows helped deal with the pressure of the Knights from the HRE. Well, with that, my friends, we'll be going to a short break as we find ourselves the next match to jump on in. It could be a round 3 match, could be a round 4, could be somewhere down in the losers bracket for players staying, trying to fight with their hopes and dreams to keep them online. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. I'll grab myself a drink, so stay tuned. More zero effort. I almost said Valorant. We're not doing Valorant. More zero effort Age of Empires action coming up shortly.